Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty cool news to go and cover over here, where it does seem like the PlayStation 5 is actually making some of the next really big leaps and bounds when it comes to changing the entire PlayStation and PC ecosystem. Now, as I'm sure you guys kind of know, we've been slowly but surely seeing more and more games coming out from the PlayStation 5 exclusives to making their way over here to the PC and PC side. Now, I love this, and I think this is fantastic, but now we're actually, I think, seeing even better news, depending on how you look at it. I think it's kind of good, in my mind, of us finally taking this huge next leap into making some of the best looking games out there. And this is actually coming from one of the most recent PlayStation games that is now coming over here from the brand new listings and kind of was also recently announced. So, kind of get to go and see that PlayStation is making some pretty big strides, and as well, kind of goes to show that the future of PlayStation on PC, which is still weird enough to go and say, might be coming out a little bit cooler than all expected. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as we talk about this, and as well, make sure you guys are subscribed as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. This was on follow for bonus giveaway entries, and of course, as well, the Amazon and Target links too. And let's dive into the video. So in case you guys missed, we had a really big announcement. Now this one's kind of a cool one, kind of a big one, that came out over here from the Game of the Year Awards. Now this is in regards now to Returnal, which is a little bit more of a niche type game, but as you guys can kind of see just on a really quick glance on all the graphics and everything else all in between, it is now finally coming on over here to PC. Now, this did actually do very well in terms of sales for kind of an unknown and kind of independent publisher for House Marque. But as you guys know, they do have a proper connection / bought out / whatever with PlayStation, and as of now, it was officially announced to be coming to PC in the very near future. Now, this is not the only game that's recently been kind of coming to PC, and also relatively quickly. So as you guys have had a chance to go and see with this one over here, and so that was a little bit on the quieter side, when it comes to the God of War itself did just recently come on over here to PC. Now, this came over here on January 14th, a little bit earlier on throughout the year, and it also had a really good reception. We're talking very good, as you guys can probably go and see on the very smidgen of my camera over here. We had 54,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews. The game did very well when it comes to all this stuff. And as well, they also had sales and everything too. But one kind of big thing to note is on the requirements in the specs, because those are typically big things to talk about, because it goes to show that the future of gaming is now here. And as well, goes to show that these games can go and look even better, be more optimized, and as well look phenomenal, because whoever is running this PC department at PlayStation is doing a very good job. So if you guys look at the God of War specs, which was technically an older game on PS4, the recommended was like a NVIDIA GTX 1060 or an AMD RX 570 as well, and I also want to push at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. But as you guys can probably see now with Returnal, we have these way differently and way higher, where even just the recommended alone is at the 2070 Super as well, or at least 32 gigs. And if you guys have been PC people, this is basically running your system to the core. So we're going to talk about the fact that PC requirements now reach a new high, as popular now brand new PlayStation games now are starting to go hit Steam. They're being worked on. So right now, Returnal is coming, as I kind of covered at the intro of this video, now to PC with their recommended system requirements of 32 gigs of RAM. So basically, a pop quiz for you PC nerds. Friend wants to build a PC, and you want to say how much RAM should they go get? Would you say 16 for gaming is a safe bet, right? Maybe you could even get by with 8. And I would say at this point, I know my PC is currently at 32. I'd probably say if you're an avid gamer who plays proper games pretty consistently, 32 is now the goal. And that's more if you're like you really want to be on top of it. You can probably live on 16 in lower settings, but if you're going to be spending all these thousands of dollars on a brand new PC, you probably want to bump it up a little bit more. But that's why it's both a good thing, because it seems like PlayStation is now finally taking advantage of these next specs, and they don't want to hold back. Returnal is a game that did look very nice, had cool effects, cool animations, and we could also then probably see this carry on to other future PlayStation games. So anything that's new and released, or maybe say God of War Ragnarok, it might have a chance then for mods, which could completely change up the game, push for even higher quality settings, and it'll probably look phenomenal on PC when it does eventually come. But right now, it does seem like these specs are now pushing up the limits, because a 2070 card that's only as of I guess recently, I guess 2 gens ago. It's kind of like the iPhone like 12 in comparison to like the 14, 15. And well, guess what? Like some people are still rocking out the 1000 series. So they may not even be able to go run this because the game is so like intense. Like it might just be a good looking game with a lot of effects and a lot of visuals. And I'm one of those folks where I kind of like this. Because I mean, I'm more of an enthusiast. I know it's harder to keep up with that and spend money on that. Totally get that, totally understand that. But I'm liking this because it goes to show that they're taking advantage of these crazy systems and utilizing all the different types of resolutions and optimizations and actually making this a good experience and potentially even a better experience for PC players. And there's kind of no reason not to. As of right now, Xbox has been in the same boat where for Game Pass, you can play Game Pass games on PC. That's been a standard. But now it kind of goes to show that PlayStation's trying to take it to the next level and make everything beautiful. So originally released for the PS5 exclusive, Returnal is one of the many Sony games coming to PC lately. It's a third-person roguelike shooter, which was really fun when I did go and play it, and it is also pushed off a lot of the system's graphical powerhouse of the PS5. And it's certainly appropriate for a PC release to up the ante. Word of Returnal's arrival on PC after like the Game of the Year Awards announcement did go and show that they're recommending, as I mentioned, at least 2000 series GPU, 60 gigabytes of space, which is normal, that's whatever, and then 32 gigs of RAM. 32 gigs. And they even say in this article too, the future is here, and I would almost want to agree because this is looking fantastic. Now, it's going to be very taxing on your PC, and you have to have a pretty high-end PC, which some people may not have, totally get that, but like it kind of goes to show that this is now the next leap. Like if PlayStation could make this happen on PC, this is very, very nice. So they did go and say the minimums though are at least a little bit more tolerable, which makes sense, but are still kind of high in RAM demand than the department. And a 4-core CPU of either Intel or AMD will do, and the veritable GTX 1060 will be fine, but you'll still need to have at least 16 gigs of RAM with at least your 1060 card. And that's just for the minimums of running on super low graphics and may not hit like a consistent 60 FPS. So for them, this kind of just goes to show that Sony's kind of holding out no bars. Like they want to make this next step and they want to push this as best as they can. They want to make their games on PC good. And so far, with all the games out there, with like Days Gone, Horizon, God of War, and now hopefully Returnal, it seems like they're trying to set a huge precedent of their future of games on PC. And I think that's what you should expect. You want to have a good, quality-made, good graphically based game that is a just good experience. You want to have a fun time doing it. And I kind of agree with that as well. So it's very, very nifty to see. So basically, Returnal's requirements do seem on the high end. And I mean, thankfully my PC is good enough to handle this, but I'm sure a lot of folks won't be able to. But the big thing too is that even other big games out there in like the overall gaming sphere, like Dead Space's remake, is a minimum and recommended specs of at least 16 gigs. So they're saying that for putting that for perspective. So for 2015, titles like Fallout 4 and Witcher 3 were asking for 8 gigs on minimum, and then recommended was also funny up to 6 for The Witcher. Then 2019, Resident Evil's 2 remake asked for around 8 gigs on both sides. Cyberpunk, which would go and say around a 32 was probably the best for it realistically, kind of how it is for Returnal, but they just wanted 12 gigabytes at 2020, and then Forza Horizon 5 had a recommended request of 16 gigs of RAM, as did Resident Evil Village. So now as we're seeing this Returnal, it's pretty much hitting the new highest standard for a recommended game, at least for like a kind of, I would say this kind of rounds up to AAA at this point, AAA game with PlayStation itself. And it does make sense because even the article is saying, over time, we're probably going to have to make this jump, and at some point, we're going to have to make the jump to 64. At some point, have to make the jump to 128, as time goes on. But it kind of just goes and says the future is here. The future is coming. Like, we're finally getting these really in-depth games, and we're able to go and, like, I don't want to say optimize, but able to take advantage of all these expensive GPUs and expensive CPUs and parts we have, even on the PC side. And it does seem like they're slowly doing that too with these next gens, which I think has been one of the biggest critiques people have had so far for the Xbox Series X or PS5. So it's very intriguing to see on how well this will run when it does come out, because we don't have the official, release as of yet, but it is coming soon. And well, the game itself, when I first played it, was a very, very good looking game, and I'll have to see on how well it actually plays on out over here on the PC. But I want to hear all your thoughts, because I'm a big PC guy. Like, I like my PS5, I like my consoles, I'll play them for sure. But for me, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys are going to rock it on out? Do you think it's too taxing? Do you just rather just prefer your console? Let me know down below. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 cash giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys want to follow for bonus giveaway entries. We have the also Target and Amazon links too. And as well, let me know if you guys are going to go pick up Returnal, because you know what? I'm kind of thinking about it myself. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll have more videos all throughout today.